Let's talk about parents and daycare for a second, if we could, please. One of the more difficult decisions we ever had to make as parents was daycare. Like, how much, where, who do we send them to? And we've utilized in-home daycare, daycare centers, before school care, after school care, summer camps, all kinds of shit. And there are good daycares and there are bad daycares, but making that decision, I'm going to show you a video here in a minute. I'm building up to a point here. Picking that daycare can be a very difficult decision. You got to do your homework on the daycares. But no matter how much homework you do, no matter how many reviews you read, no matter how many people you talk to, things can still go sideways. And as a parent of multiple kids that went through daycare, if I showed up to pick up my kid and what I'm about to show you in this video happened, I would be apoplectic. I would make the fucking news that night. I can't even imagine this shit. And you're going to tell me that this happened because you're understaffed? Are you out of your fucking mind?
I'm coming, okay?
911, what is the address of the emergency?
You can hear the worry in the voice of Stephanie Martinez while she's on the phone with a 911 operator moments after she comes to find her 2-year-old daughter Anastasia inside the KinderCare daycare center in Plantation. The lights off, no staff members inside, the doors locked, and her daughter looking right at her, waiting for her mother to get her out.
She's inside the daycare. She just came up to the door.
She's inside by herself?
Yeah, she's crying. She's inside by herself.
My first thought is something bad happened.
Anastasia's aunt, Samantha Scarmelino, said she received a call from the child's mother just after 6 Tuesday, hopeful she'd been picked up.
And she's like, well, I'm at the school and nobody's here. And I'm like, well, I don't have her. Like, call the police.
Plantation police and fire arriving shortly after and forcing the doors open to let Anastasia out.
Okay, thank you.
Fortunately, she was okay, but it's her relatives now wondering how this all happened.
Do you know what led up to that circumstance?
While staff members referred me to their corporate number, Samantha said this was the daycare's response to her.
It's something that's most likely fallen because of short staffing.
What? You're short-staffed, so you locked my 2-year-old in a dark daycare center alone for the day. Motherfucker, you better hope the hospital they take you to is fully staffed. Are you shitting me? She was incredibly calm in that scenario. I don't know that I would have called the police first. I think I would have broke the fucking window. I think I would have broken the fucking window. And then called the police and said, hey, I just broke my kid out of daycare because she was in there alone in a dark room, locked with no adults. Holy shit. Please, if you have a kid that you are considering putting in daycare, do your due diligence on that daycare. Read every fucking review. Not just the good ones, not just the bad ones. Read them all. Talk to as many people as you possibly can if that is an option for you. You are leaving your child with somebody, and I've done that. We have done that multiple times. Quick story. We were living up by O'Hare Airport, which is about, with no traffic at all, 45 minutes to an hour away from where we are right now. Morning and afternoon rush, you're talking hour and a half plus. And I got a job with a company based out of the northwest suburbs to manage all of the landscape sites they have in the southwest suburbs. It was a direct report job, so I had a company truck, and I would just leave and drive all over the southwest suburbs from job site to job site, managing crews and dealing with customers. We then decided, as a result of this, that we were going to put down roots down here. We were going to look for a home, and then Renee was going to look for a job, and we were going to move. Our daughters were 3 years old. Magnolia was 3 years old, and Lily was 6 months old. And we found this house, and we wanted to buy it. And we learned that right before we got to the closing table, the kid who owned it, early 20s, that's why I call him a kid, the kid who owned it hadn't made payments in fucking forever, and they went into foreclosure. And it turned into a prolonged ordeal that wound up taking months to resolve. But Renee already took a job down here. She took a job working in one of the agriculture exporting companies that she ultimately wound up, working in the industry for 20 years. And we had to have daycare down here because we were already, I was already like leaving before the fucking sun came up. And now she had a job down here that was going to take her an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to get to, and an hour and a half and an hour and 45 minutes to get back from. And so we landed on daycare, in-home daycare here in town with somebody we didn't know and had no idea. We had no contacts with anybody in the town, so there was nobody we could talk to. Total fucking crapshoot. Luckily, it turned out to be okay. I wouldn't have wanted the kids to stay there long term, but because she kept them inside the house a lot, there wasn't a lot of outside time. But anyway, it was okay. The kids were safe. The kids were fed. It was okay. But my wife was driving an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes in the morning with a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old, dropping them off at a daycare an in-home daycare she doesn't know, going to work, working a full fucking day in an industry that she just started in, then picking the kids up and doing an hour and 45 back home. You know what I mean? And like we literally had to just throw shit against the wall and kind of hope that it worked, because we had no fucking idea. And then once we moved down here, once we were able to get into the house, and we found daycare centers in town that were reliable, that we could talk to people about, we could read reviews about, and it worked out good. But I'm serious. If I showed up and my kid was in that scenario, I would have broken the window first, called the cops second, gone hunting third. We're short-staffed, motherfucker. Be thankful that the ambulance company is full-staffed.